I'm Hannah Halley, and welcome back to Icons of Influence, the series where we explore how business, culture, politics, and personality collide to create power. Today, we're exploring a name that transcends industries and borders, someone whose influence has reshaped Hollywood, redefined celebrity activism, and built a global brand on purpose as much as performance. This is the story of Angelina Jolie, actress, director, philanthropist, humanitarian, and entrepreneur. She's one of the most recognizable people on the planet, but her legacy isn't just about fame. It's about how she turned personal narrative into global influence, how she leveraged celebrity into real-world change, and how she built a brand around purpose, not just power. Angelina Jolie was born into Hollywood royalty, the daughter of actor Jon Voight and actress Marceline Bertrand, but her rise wasn't guaranteed. Early in her career, Jolie was known for her intensity, her rebellious spirit, and her refusal to fit the mold. Her breakout role in Girl, Interrupted, 1999, earned her an Academy Award and established her as one of the most talented young actors of her generation. But Jolie's approach to fame was strategic. She carefully balanced critically acclaimed performances with blockbuster roles, from Lara Croft, Tomb Raider to Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Disney's Maleficent, building a career that combined artistic credibility with commercial power. What's often overlooked is that Jolie wasn't just a performer, she was a brand builder. Every role, every public appearance, every interview was part of a narrative. Strong, independent, fearless, and often complex women at the centre of the story. That persona resonated deeply with audiences and helped her become one of the highest paid actresses in the world. By the early 2000s, Jolie was more than a movie star. She was a cultural force, and she was about to leverage that influence far beyond the red carpet. For many celebrities, fame is the product. For Angelina Jolie, it was the platform. And she used that platform to build something much larger than an acting career. She expanded into directing and producing, a deliberate shift that gave her creative control and influence over narratives. Films like In the Land of Blood and Honey and First They Killed My Father explored war, trauma, and human rights, reinforcing her reputation as an artist with purpose. But the real evolution of the Angelina Jolie brand came through her public persona. She was no longer just a movie star. She became a global advocate, a fashion icon, a voice for justice, and a philanthropist. Collaborations with luxury houses like Louis Vuitton and Guerlain positioned her as a symbol of elegance and empowerment, while her work behind the camera showed depth, intellect, and leadership. She also launched Atelier Jolie, a sustainable fashion initiative that focuses on ethical production, craftsmanship, and community collaboration, proof that her influence extends into entrepreneurship and the business of values-driven branding. This wasn't just diversification, it was strategy. By anchoring her brand in authenticity, humanitarianism, and purpose, Jolie created something rare: influence that transcends industry and credibility that outlives celebrity. Perhaps the most powerful chapter of Jolie's influence story is her work on the global stage. In 2001, she became a UNHCR Goodwill Ambassador and later a Special Envoy, roles in which she visited refugee camps, advocated for displaced communities, and spoke directly to world leaders. Over 2 decades, she's travelled to more than 60 countries, meeting survivors of war, famine, and sexual violence. Her work has focused on some of the most complex issues of our time: forced migration, education access, gender-based violence, and human rights. Jolie co-founded the Preventing Sexual Violence Initiative, PSVI, with the UK government, pushing for international accountability on conflict-related sexual violence. She's addressed the United Nations, testified before the US Senate, and worked directly with NGOs and policymakers. Importantly, Jolie leveraged her celebrity strategically. Her presence brings media attention to crises that might otherwise go unnoticed, And she uses that spotlight not to center herself, but to amplify voices often ignored. It's a masterclass in influence, where visibility becomes a tool for advocacy and fame is repurposed for systemic change. Angelina Jolie's influence hasn't been without complexity, and in many ways, that complexity has added to her power. Her high-profile relationships, from Billy Bob Thornton to Brad Pitt, and her family life, including the adoption of children from Cambodia, Ethiopia, and Vietnam, have made her one of the most scrutinized women in the world. But Jolie has often flipped that scrutiny into storytelling. Her openness about deeply personal issues, from her double mastectomy and cancer prevention surgery to her experiences with mental health, has reshaped public conversations about health, agency, and women's choices. She's shown that vulnerability, when framed with purpose, can become one of the most powerful forms of influence. There have been controversies too, custody battles, public feuds, critiques of her activism, but Jolie's brand has remained remarkably resilient. In part because it's built on something deeper than celebrity gossip: values, mission, and impact. Angelina Jolie's story offers some of the most valuable lessons in influence we can learn. First, influence is bigger than visibility. Jolie proves that fame is just the beginning. What matters is how you use it. Second, authentic narrative builds lasting trust. Her story of transformation, advocacy, and purpose resonates because it's rooted in truth, not just publicity. Third, diversification amplifies impact. Jolie has expanded her influence across film, fashion, business, and humanitarian work, creating a multi-dimensional brand. Fourth, vulnerability can be strength. By speaking openly about personal struggles, she's connected with audiences on a deeper level and shifted public discourse. Fifth, purpose is power. Jolie's legacy isn't just her films. It's the lives she's impacted, the policies she's shaped, and the conversations she's led. Angelina Jolie is more than a movie star. She's a strategist, a storyteller, a humanitarian, and a builder of influence that's deeply human. Her career shows us that power isn't just about wealth, visibility, or status. It's about purpose, credibility, and the courage to use your voice for something bigger. I'm Hannah Halley, and this was Icons of Influence. Until next time, use your platform wisely, tell stories that matter, and remember, the greatest legacy of influence is the change it creates.